Mastering Yourself, Lessons from Nietzsche's Philosophy. This video is brought to you by NordVPN, a top-tier virtual private network that safeguards your online identity, whether you're in an airport, a coffee shop, or any other location. We will delve deeper into the benefits of NordVPN at the conclusion of this video. But for now, let's explore the concept of self-mastery through the lens of Friedrich Nietzsche's philosophy. Friedrich Nietzsche was a German philosopher who lived during the latter part of the 19th century. He is renowned for his critical examination of morality, religion, and traditional philosophical concepts. Nietzsche authored several influential works, including Thus Spoke Zarathustra, Beyond Good and Evil, The Birth of Tragedy, and The Twilight of the Idols. He also viewed himself as a psychologist, laying the groundwork for the psychoanalytic theories that emerged in the 20th century. Nietzsche is often regarded as one of the prominent modern thinkers, alongside figures like Sigmund Freud and Karl Marx. Additionally, he is seen as a precursor to existentialism, emphasizing the significance of personal freedom and the quest for meaning in a world that can often seem devoid of it. Central to Nietzsche's philosophy is the idea of the will to power, which he posited as the fundamental driving force behind all living beings. This concept is frequently interpreted as the innate desire to transcend one's circumstances, to grow, to expand, and to explore. However, Nietzsche argued that the most profound form of power one can attain is not dominion over others or one's surroundings, but rather mastery over oneself. He believed that self-mastery is the cornerstone of all other skills and abilities, and it is the first area one must concentrate on to achieve true greatness. To help you grasp the principles of self-mastery as outlined by Nietzsche, here are 7 valuable lessons we can draw from his philosophy. 1. Prioritize self-obedience. Nietzsche famously stated, "He who cannot obey himself shall be commanded." In contrast to Schopenhauer, who held a pessimistic view that a singular will governs our lives and that we are powerless to escape it, Nietzsche introduced the concept of the will to power. This will is intended to help individuals overcome obstacles, whether they arise from other people or their environment. When we lack sufficient willpower, we find ourselves out of control, lacking self-discipline, and unable to adhere to the plans we have meticulously crafted. This can lead to succumbing to fleeting urges, impulses, or emotions. If we fail to execute our strategies for success, we risk being manipulated by those who are more self-disciplined and composed, ultimately allowing them to dictate our actions. Nietzsche identified 2 distinct types of morality: slave morality and master morality. Adhering to a slave morality means being governed by societal expectations and peer pressure, leading to self-doubt and a life lived in the shadows, devoid of personal goals. In contrast, those who embrace master morality set clear objectives and follow their own plans, acting in pursuit of their dreams independently of others. For instance, if your aspiration is to become a millionaire, but you currently lack the funds to invest in your business and must maintain a regular job, you may find yourself overwhelmed by the demands of your managers and colleagues. Their expectations can distract you from your ultimate goal, making it challenging to stay focused on your path to success. When it comes to your initial aspirations, it's easy to get sidetracked. You might find yourself putting in extra hours at your day job, eagerly accepting new promotions and responsibilities, and just going with the flow. Before you know it, you've built a career that doesn't align with your true desires. Your work environment, the circumstances, and the people around you can all push you towards a destination you never intended to reach. Essentially, you end up being commanded by external forces. On the other hand, if you choose to obey yourself, you'll never find yourself working overtime. Instead, you'll use your spare time to seek out more and more potential investors for your business. You'll dedicate yourself to learning every day about the business you aspire to create. You'll never lose sight of your entrepreneurial goals. Obeying yourself is crucial for achieving anything great in life. Now, let's talk about strengthening your will. Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "I wanted to make asceticism natural again." Nietzsche was strongly against the 3 ascetic ideals: poverty, humility, and chastity. His critique of these ideals was part of his broader attack on Christianity. However, in his earlier works, he saw some practical benefits in what he called natural asceticism. He acknowledged that there is an advantage in mastering one's own will. The less you obey your biological and emotional urges, the more free you become. By practicing asceticism in the form of abstinence and various periods of fasting, for example, you gain more control over your life. You learn to control your biological and emotional urges, giving you a significant advantage over others who are slaves to their instincts. Achieving self-mastery means being able to resist temptations, whether it's grabbing that cookie on the plate, taking alone time to prepare for an important exam, or quitting smoking. If you're struggling to quit smoking, some self-help tips include thinking positively, believing in your ability to succeed, making a real plan, deciding on a quit date, considering changes to your diet, and finding activities to replace smoking, like chewing gum or going for a run. If you find yourself easily irritated by the demands of others, experiencing high levels of stress each day, and feeling incapable of handling the hardships at work, meditation can be a powerful method to strengthen your will. Meditation helps decrease stress levels, giving you the strength and calmness to push through hardships without overwhelming yourself. If you're struggling with maintaining concentration at work due to wasting too much time on social media, consider temporarily deleting those apps from your phone and avoiding social gatherings. Use this time to focus on practicing a skill or learning something new. These techniques are ways to achieve self-discipline, helping us become stronger and more in control of our will. Next, let's discuss mastering your temper. Nietzsche teaches us that the growth of wisdom can be accurately measured by the decline of ill temper. If the growth of wisdom is indicated by a decrease in ill-tempered behavior, it implies that controlling your moods proves you're a wise person. Nietzsche believed in the idea of self-control, but didn't think we have complete freedom of choice or free will. We can't control our likes and dislikes or change our personality overnight. We can't decide what we want and don't want. However, we can control our reactions to these desires and impulses. By practicing self-control, we can better manage our emotions and behaviors, leading to a more balanced and wise life. Our mindset significantly influences our actions as we strive to achieve our objectives. By learning to control our emotions and resisting harmful impulses, such as breaking objects, yelling at others, or resorting to violence, we can create a mental space that allows us to reflect on situations from various angles before reacting or speaking. The more we practice pausing to think before we act, the more time we have to thoroughly assess a scenario and make informed choices, ultimately leading to greater wisdom. For instance, if you tend to have a quick temper and often react harshly to situations you perceive as unfair, this insight could be particularly beneficial for you. Imagine you're managing a project at work and overseeing a team. You might feel intense frustration or anger towards a team member who is not fulfilling their responsibilities adequately. If you choose to confront that individual by shouting at them in front of your colleague for their poor performance, you risk undermining their self-esteem, which could lead to even more mistakes in the future. Additionally, this approach could irreparably harm your professional relationship with them. It's important to remember that this person may possess skills and talents that you're unaware of, which could be valuable for future projects. However, if you damage your relationship, you may never discover these hidden abilities. A more prudent approach would be to have a private discussion with the individual. Share your frustrations, offer constructive feedback on how they can improve, and collaborate on a plan to address the issues at hand. This way, you foster a more positive and less stressful work environment. Not only will you preserve your working relationships, but you may also enhance them, which can lead to improved team performance over time. Next, let's explore the importance of mastering your decision-making process. As nature teaches us, it is essential to gain control over your affirmations and negations, learning when to express them and when to hold back, all in alignment with your higher aspirations. Friedrich Nietzsche famously stated that God is dead, a phrase that has become one of his most recognized quotes. This declaration is metaphorical. Nietzsche did not believe in a deity, and the death signifies the decline of Christian values in society. In his work, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, Nietzsche illustrated a contemporary world where religious principles have weakened. However, instead of being replaced by uplifting and constructive values, they have been supplanted by nihilism, the belief that all values are unfounded and that nothing can be truly known or communicated. For Nietzsche, the death of God is not entirely a positive development, as the erosion of Christian morality threatens the entire moral framework of Western civilization. In a godless world, he proposed the idea of the Übermensch or Overman as a remedy to counteract the risks of a society descending into nihilism. The Overman represents an idealized version of humanity, capable of leading a meaningful life. This individual would master themselves, navigating life without adhering to externally imposed moral codes. They would set their own goals and aspirations, and when faced with choices, they would possess the strength to resist societal pressures and reject anything that does not align with their higher objectives. Nietzsche believed that our greatness lies in our potential to evolve from our animalistic nature towards becoming the Overman, rather than viewing ourselves as a final destination. Making decisions in life is an art, and it's crucial to understand that the choices we make can shape our entire journey. While it's challenging to say no all the time, especially in an interconnected world, we should prioritize our goals and learn to decline when demands are unreasonable. Mastering decision-making begins with identifying your life goals. For instance, if your primary goal is to have sufficient free time with your family while maintaining a comfortable financial situation, a highly profitable business venture that demands all your leisure time might not align with your aspirations. In such cases, despite the allure of potential wealth, staying true to your goals and saying no is essential. Always keep your end goal in mind before committing to anything. Nature teaches us that our bodies possess an intelligence of their own, and many philosophical and religious traditions acknowledge the duality of human existence, the physical and the spiritual. Friedrich Nietzsche, a renowned philosopher, rejected this split, arguing that we often neglect our physical selves and the tangible world. He believed in the importance of embracing our animal instincts and physicality, considering it the foundation of spirituality. Nietzsche saw himself as the last disciple of Dionysus, the god of wine, symbolizing the celebration of life and our primal nature. Today, science supports the idea that a healthy body is essential for a healthy mind. A balanced lifestyle, including proper nutrition, a healthy sex life, regular exercise, and exposure to sunlight and fresh air is crucial for our overall well-being. By listening to our bodies and tending to their needs and desires, we achieve a more harmonious life and a sharper mind. Our bodies are our temples, delicate machines that require daily care. They form the foundation of our existence and, according to nature, the basis of our intelligence and spiritual life. Therefore, we must allocate time for self-care, such as exercising daily, taking leisurely walks, consuming more fresh produce, spending quality time with our partners, and engaging in outdoor activities like hiking. Additionally, Nietzsche emphasizes the importance of guarding our hearts. He believed that losing control of one's heart could lead to a loss of control over one's mind. As a brilliant scholar and professor at Basel, Nietzsche's wisdom extends beyond his philosophical contributions. In his lifetime, he was recognized as a remarkable intellectual, a true prodigy in his field. However, when it came to matters of the heart, his experiences were far from fulfilling. Friedrich Nietzsche never entered into marriage, nor did he have any publicly acknowledged romantic relationships with women. At the age of 44, he experienced a mental breakdown in Turin, Italy, reportedly triggered by a distressing incident where he witnessed a horse being beaten. In a moment of empathy, he reportedly said to the horse, "I understand you." This breakdown may have been exacerbated by his battle with syphilis, a condition that plagued him for much of his later life. The only confirmed details about his romantic inclinations involve his infatuation with two notable women: Lou Salom, a young and brilliant Russian who later emerged as a significant figure in feminism and psychoanalysis, and Cosima Wagner, the wife of the renowned composer Richard Wagner. Despite his romantic failures, Nietzsche often contemplated love and the idea of marriage. Yet, he ultimately prioritized his philosophical work and the legacy he wished to leave behind. One can only speculate about how different his life might have been had he chosen to marry and embrace a more balanced lifestyle, one that included companionship rather than solitude. Perhaps, if he had nurtured a loving relationship, the effects of syphilis would not have been so devastating. It serves as a reminder that while we may have grand ambitions for our careers, it is equally vital to pay attention to our emotional lives. Human connections can be transformative and provide healing during challenging times, whether in our professional or financial endeavors. The love of a partner, family, or close friends can rejuvenate our spirits when we face difficulties. Conversely, a life of complete isolation can leave us vulnerable, lacking the emotional support we need during tough times. Therefore, it is crucial to invest time in finding the right people to accompany us on our journey. Individuals who respect us, offer love, and inspire confidence. Consider creating a list of qualities that your ideal partner should possess to meet your emotional needs. Ensure that those who enter your life embody these traits. Mastering your heart is just as essential, if not more so, than mastering your finances or professional skills. Losing touch with your emotional well-being can lead to losing your mental clarity. Emotional health is foundational to overall mental wellness. In our concluding thoughts inspired by Nietzsche, he suggests that the most spiritually advanced individuals find joy in places where others might encounter ruin. His philosophy encompasses both psychological insights and a somewhat mystical perspective, advocating for rigorous self-discipline followed by the emergence of a new self. Nietzsche envisioned this new self as an overman, a being capable of transcending human limitations to achieve true freedom. He identified 3 transformative stages in the journey to becoming an overman: the camel, the lion, and the child. The camel represents self-control and mastery. Before one can evolve into an overman, it is essential to cultivate the strength to seek truth, learn, and grow. This journey involves embracing experiences and saying yes to learning and self-discipline. The camel does not merely endure hardships to reach a destination. It also finds joy in the journey itself. These 3 stages of transformation can also be applied on a smaller scale. For instance, if you grew up in a financially disadvantaged environment, your aspiration to achieve wealth can be seen as a personal metamorphosis, reflecting the same principles of growth and self-mastery. Many individuals in your surroundings are engaged in traditional 9-to-5 jobs, spending their time in factories, watching television, and socializing in bars. If you aspire to achieve your goals, it is essential to question this conventional lifestyle and seek out alternative role models. For instance, you might consider reading the biographies of highly successful individuals or exploring online platforms to discover stories of those who have risen from humble beginnings to attain remarkable success. By studying their journeys, you can adopt their strategies and begin your own path of self-improvement. This journey may require you to sacrifice some of your leisure time, such as cutting back on television or declining invitations to socialize with friends. You might choose to enroll in online courses to acquire valuable business skills and connect with networks of accomplished individuals. While others may perceive your dedication as overly strict, especially when you wake up at 5 a.m. for a workout or opt to stay in for an online class instead of going out, there's a profound sense of fulfillment that comes from enduring these challenges. This commitment propels you toward your aspirations. Eventually, as you complete your education and training, you can transform into a powerful figure, breaking free from the constraints of your previous lifestyle and discovering a new sense of freedom through the achievement of your goals. This transformation is akin to a child evolving into a better version of themselves, which necessitates the ability to withstand difficulties. However, as long as you maintain a clear vision of your ultimate objective, you will find joy in the journey and experience happiness through self-mastery. As we mentioned earlier, this video is sponsored by NordVPN. Each time you access a website, your connection begins with your internet service provider, which then directs you to your desired sites. This means they can monitor and log your online activities, and they may even sell your browsing history to advertisers, government entities, and other third parties. The risk of exposure increases significantly when you connect to public Wi-Fi networks, such as those found in hotels, cafes, airports, and similar locations. In these environments, anyone with basic hacking skills could potentially access your passwords, credit card information, and other sensitive data. This is where NordVPN becomes invaluable. It safeguards your information by concealing your IP address and encrypting all data you send or receive. By routing your internet traffic through a specially configured remote server, NordVPN ensures that any intercepted data appears as indecipherable gibberish, making it impossible for anyone to read. Here at Philosophies for Life, we rely on NordVPN for our online security. The app simplifies the process of using a VPN, boasting over 5,200 high-speed servers across 59 countries. This extensive network allows you to access content from anywhere, regardless of regional restrictions. You can also save your preferred servers and enjoy up to 6 simultaneous connections based on your usage needs. To protect your online identity, click the link in the description below and use our promo code to secure a 2-year plan with 4 additional months free at a significant discount. If you found this video helpful, be sure to explore our complete Philosophies for Life playlist for more content aimed at helping you achieve success and happiness through ancient philosophical insights. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.